we're gonna do an enclosure maintenance too, so I'm gonna get some napkins ready and a catch cup for sure, because we might have a runner here today. I'll give him something in there too, some leads and stuff, something to hide under, you know, in case he does run out. So we're about to do some risky business, guys. We're gonna take this boy out, but we're not afraid. Hey, what's up guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Miro, and in today's video we're gonna be talking about Heteropoda lunula. Here you see a mold that I pulled out of this enclosure because we were doing some maintenance, because these spiders get pretty messy with their poop. They like to shoot it out and it's basically all over the walls all the time. And I decided to actually use this opportunity to take some pictures as well, because you know, this is the only few times that I get to have these huntsmen outside and in like favorable conditions for photography. We did it during the day because the huntsmen are a lot more mellow during the day. They really rely on their camouflage. I raised this male Heteropoda lunula from hatchling. I got it from Tom Patterson. It lost its leg a bunch of times during molts, and it took almost a year for it to grow to this size, but I'm really happy that I was able to do that because these huntsmen are really beautiful. Let me first talk about their biology and behavior, then we're gonna move on to enclosures, and we're gonna finish this video with food and water requirements. Heteropoda lunula is a huntsman spider that lives in tropical climates from India to Vietnam, Malaysia, Java, Sumatra and Borneo. Huntsmen belong to family Sparacidae, and Heteropoda lunula is also commonly known as purple huntsman. People are familiar with huntsmen in areas where they live, but there is not very much known about them, so keeping huntsmen in captivity helps us actually uncover a little bit more about these interesting arachnids. I currently keep 6 different species of huntsmen, and we posted videos of molting, also some grainy footage of mating, but it's there, and we also got some cool footage of our Heteropoda David Bowie laying an egg sac and some hunting, so go check it out on our channel if you're interested in huntsmen. Purple huntsmen are relatively long-lived spiders, at least for true spiders, because some of the true spiders only live few months to a year, but Heteropoda lunula usually lives around 2 years. The good news is that males often live as long as the females, which with tarantula is not the case. But unfortunately in captivity the male huntsmen don't grow as large as the females, while in nature they grow similar sizes. The females are a little bit more bulkier with a bigger abdomen. Heteropoda lunula grows up to 11 centimeters, which is just roughly under 5 inches, but there is another huntsman, Heteropoda maxima, that is regarded the largest spider by leg span, up to astonishing 30 centimeters, which is almost 12 inches. There is bigger spiders by mass, like Theraphosa for example, but this is by leg span. Huntsman spiders have 8 eyes in 2 rows, and they have a relatively good eyesight. It's not as good as jumping spiders, but it's actually pretty good. Their excellent camouflage makes them difficult to see in the daylight, but they can be located easily at night because of their eye shine. They are just like wolf spiders. If you guys watch our video on wolf spiders in Croatia, you can see there their eyes basically flicker and shine at night. And here you guys see one rehouse with it, and I also use this opportunity for photo shoot again, because as I said, they are pretty mellow and they really rely on their camouflage during the day. Okay, back to some interesting facts. I read there was a study done where, given the choice, female huntsmen would mate with larger males and actually kill the smaller ones. So if they would give them 2 males, one would be bigger, one would be smaller, she would kill the smaller one and mate with the larger one. It's pretty crazy, huh? But usually their courtship is without any issues, and mating can take anywhere from 1 to 8 hours. Females are devoted mothers and they produce flat egg sacs. I recently posted video with our Heteropoda David Bowie laying the egg sac. Unfortunately, when we went out on vacation, she ate the egg sac. Can be a sign of stress, we just don't know what stressed her out since we were gone. But they lay more than 1 egg sac, huntsmen, so we are definitely keeping our fingers crossed for another egg sac, and we're gonna keep a close eye on her. These spiders are arboreal, so you can see I always have enclosures for them that are taller than wider. And you can see the different sizes. This is when we first got her. Actually, this is a little bit later after we got her, because she was so tiny. You guys gonna see the unboxing in a moment. As a hatchling, I gave her some ground hideouts and some vertical hideouts, also some cocoa fiber, and kept her in a deli cup for like 1 or 2 instars until I moved her into proper enclosure. They molt hanging upside down, so you wanna give them that vertical space. And here you guys can see how tiny she was when we first got her. This is how she came, basically, from Tom Patterson. Where is she? Where is that girl? There she is. Look at that. Well, I keep saying she, but it's actually he. So we just called her Luna, so I'm just like so stuck on her, on him being female. But yeah, it's a boy, which is actually kind of cool because male Heteropoda lunula seem to be harder to come by in a hobby. And here he is as a tiny sling. He's pretty secretive, actually, even now as a bigger specimen, because I only see him at night, and during the day they're always hiding. All huntsmen are actually nocturnal. We are watching one of our first rehouses, and as you guys can see in this enclosure, I use a hot gun to glue few sticks and few objects to the top, so it's easier for him to anchor his web when he needs to molt. And I use a brush to gently nudge him into his new enclosure. At this size, you don't have to really worry about them like bolting too far, because they usually make like when they bolt, you know, shorter distances. And when they get a little bigger, I recommend rehousing them in a bigger bin where you can actually put some leaves or anything for them to hide. In case they bolt, they will probably go for the darkest spot, and this is actually pretty common. When I rehouse them, they always go around. In the enclosure, you wanna provide them with vertical hideouts like this cork bark. They really enjoy it, but I also have some horizontal hideouts for them because it makes it easy for me to take pictures of them if they decide to sit, for example, on a leaf or anything like that. And I also have a live plants there usually, and I also have a damp substrate. I keep it pretty damp. We live in a really dry area, so you know, just to kind of increase the humidity. I know that there is many conversations about the humidity and keeping it damp or not keeping it damp, but you know, we keep it damp. So that's just what I can say. And we kept this guy in this enclosure, which is, by the way, Big Fat Fits, I believe, enclosure. It's a jumping spider enclosure until about this size, and then we rehoused him into his forever home. And that one is from Herb Cult. It's this guy. And again, live plant, vertical hideouts, and yeah, he's been loving it. I see him at night exploring for a little bit, and then usually he finds a spot where he sits for the rest of the night. I fed my hatchling with flightless fruit flies. Later I added house flies and blue bottle flies as he grew. Flying insects are great for huntsmen because most like to move vertically. I have seen some videos of adults, Heteropoda lunula, they were preying on frogs, which was pretty crazy. Huntsman spiders do not build webs, and instead they hunt and will run after their prey, which is really awesome to watch. They have amazing speeds. They still can produce silk, and they use it for their egg sacs or like molting lines, or where they hang upside down, or silk to basically waterproof their hideout. Check out the speed, how this one's gonna take it down. Did you see it? I mean, this is just so fast. And here it is again, 10 times slower. When I move the lid, the fly falls down and the huntsman is right after it. And he gets it. And as you guys can see, their prey is not wrapped, but many species have a bit of a victory dance, similar to tarantulas, where the spider dances while holding its prey and it's setting silk lines to secure the prey to the surface. And as far as their water requirements, I miss them pretty heavily twice a week. As I said, we live in a dry area. I do keep a small water dish in their enclosure, but I've never seen them drinking. And I also keep damp moss and damp substrate at the bottom. And I have seen the huntsmen before molt to actually go down to the bottom and they kind of stick their body into the moss. So I assume they enjoy the increased humidity. And just a little bit on huntsman spider venom. Their bites can cause prolonged pain, inflammation and headaches, and even vomiting and irregular pulse rate, but there are no long-term side effects associated with huntsman spider bite. They are not known as defensive spiders, but females will defend their egg sac or their young against anything that they perceive as being a threat. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications button. I apologize about my voice. I lost my voice during travels. We just got back from Czech Republic, where I'm from. We were visiting my family and the travel took almost 24 hours and it was just brutal. It's even harder to travel now during the pandemic than it was before. But besides that, we have a free shipping on actually all of our t-shirts, not some of our t-shirts, but our t-shirts, which are Bugs in Famous Movies. Here you can see praying mantis in Pulp Fiction, which we call Spider Cafe. We also have a coloring book that is out. It looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with the final results. Actually, it's on Amazon. I'll post the link down below and you guys can see the pictures, and I'm really happy with the result because the pictures came out really nice, and considering that it's just a coloring book, you know, it's really good quality. So if you guys have kids or if you just want to have a coloring book with some cool macro photos, go for it and check us out. I'm gonna post the link below for our Amazon shop, and that's about it. All right, I'll see you very soon. Ciao.